What's up, everybody? I just finished up Limitless by Jim Kwik. I wanted to bring a quick video to you guys pointing out what my favorite lesson that I pulled from that book was. So to give you a quick background on Jim, he was an immigrant to the United States. And when he first came over, he was, not a great learner, not very smart. He actually struggled in school a little bit. But then a few years into school, he fell and hit his head and actually had a minor brain injury that put him so far behind the other students. And so he struggled with school, he struggled learning. But he, kept at it and kept working. Eventually got to college, and in college he began to learn skills and techniques that allowed him to go from one of the worst learners in every group, to where one teacher actually called him the boy with the broken brain, to today Jim is now a memory and brain coach. So to go from no brain power to just an amazing mind. And so he's got a really inspiring story. So he's got a ton of great information in this book, Limitless. But the three steps to learning, the three keys to learning that he pointed out those were my favorite things from the book. And they're the 3 M's. He did a very good job of using alliterations. But so the first one is mindset, the second one is motivation, and the third one is methods. So you have to have a mindset entering learning, a mindset of confidence, a mindset that you are able to do this. A belief in yourself that when you put in the work, you will be successful. Secondly, you have to have the motivation. You have to have a real deep-seated why, why you want to learn this information. And, it can't be just something weak. It can't be like, oh, I learn this so that I can get through school, or I want to go through school so I can get a job. No, these are things like, I want to learn this information so I can be a better person, so I can spend more time with my family, so I can, help my parents, so I can get a better job, and then be able to do these things. And so you have to have a really strong why when you approach some kind of new learning. And then thirdly is the methods. And he goes over a lot of different methods, and some of them are really, really cool. My favorite one is actually taking information and compiling it in story form, because when you get information from a story, your brain holds onto it far better. So, stories, they have visualization, which is far better than, like rote memorization. So you have visualization, you have emotion. Stories are tied to a place, which, from back in our hunter-gatherer days, our minds remember places really well. Lastly, stories are actionable. There's something happening. And so instead of it being passive, both the action of creating the memory story and saying the memory story, remembering the memory story, is active. So that allows you to memorize things and to learn things a lot better. And he goes over a ton of different techniques, but it's really those the 3 M's that were most interesting to me, because I realized that, a lot of our traditional education does a very poor job at all 3 of those, right? So they don't give you a good reason. They're just like, you have to learn this because, why? Who knows how many times you've asked a teacher, why do we have to learn this? And they don't have a good answer, like history and math are examples that comes to mind. And then secondly, the mindset, the confidence that you have approaching these problems. You get called on in school or something and you didn't know the answer because you have a lot of other things going on, that crushed your confidence. And so a lot of people don't have the confidence that they can learn because school negatively reinforced and told you were dumb. You didn't necessarily get to go in the class with the smart kids. You thought learning was boring. And so you had no confidence that you could be a great learner. And then thirdly, then the reason that you had no confidence is school did a very poor job of teaching you the methods to learn. So I know that for me, a lot of things that I did were rote memorization. We just say something over and over and over. And what he pointed out in this book that was, funny in a kind of, oh my goodness, that's terrible way, is that the word rote that's used in rote memorization, it comes from, I believe it's a Latin word that means to repeat mindlessly. And so it literally, when you say rote memorization, it's like a rote learning. You're learning without using your brain. And that's just such a stupid idea. And that's, one of the main things that's used in the education system today. I know that a lot of people watching this video, this book about learning, might feel that they, went through school and they struggled with school, so they aren't necessarily great learners. And that's what he really dispels in this book. It's that school didn't set you up to learn correctly. They didn't give you the right methods, which created a poor mindset, poor confidence, and they didn't give you any motivation. You didn't necessarily have a motivation to learn this stuff. So I want to leave you guys with some hope, some inspiration, that you can be great learners. If you develop the methods and the mindset and the motivation, that you can crush any new learning thing that you want to learn. My mom really wants to learn to play piano, and we've been talking a little bit about this as I read the book, and she's actually more motivated and more excited to learn to play the piano. And, I've applied these type of tactics, not necessarily from this book, but these type of tactics in my life. And that's caused me to be very confident in my ability to learn. And because of that, I have been very, very successful in my own learning because of confidence. And, so I'm really excited to apply these principles, to apply the 3 M's: mindset, motivation, and methods. And I hope you guys can do the same. As always, we know if reading is knowledge and knowledge is power, then reading is power. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.